like I said, we're doing more of a story time for my topic because I just found this to be hilarious. And
Did you?
I did.
I'll
actually.
join
You
for
weren't
this.
angry at the time?
No, I thought it was funny. So
I am joining for this. So
okay,
Yeah.
so
Tim can take my
all of
spot.
us except for Dan. Dan was the only one that didn't go to a Skillet concert on Saturday night.
I was working.
He was working, so he was busy. So we Weston and I were sitting with my family because we had an extra ticket from last year, and then Tim and Logan were down in the, I guess, the pit, if you want to call it that, the standing area.
The
It wasn't really a
garbage
mosh
disposal?
pit, but
The garbage disposal?
So they were down in the standing. So anyways, Weston and I were standing up in the grandstands, and
in the seated area.
you're at a concert though. So
You're at a rock concert.
You're at a rock concert, and all of a sudden, in between songs, or at the end of one of the songs from the opening act from Ledger, I hear from behind me over my left shoulder, I hear, guys, sit down, guys. Like just screaming at us. And I turn around because, it was obvious she was talking to us at this point.
Oops.
And I'm 6 feet tall, and you're a little bit taller than I am.
Mm-hmm. 6'2".
6'2". So it was kind of funny because I turn around, and this old lady, there's two of them. Not really old, like maybe 50s, 60s.
I'd say probably 50s.
Like late 50s, probably.
Middle-aged.
Yeah, she yells at me. She goes, "We paid to see this show. You need to sit down." And I turn around, I tell her, I go, you can stand up. Just like that. And the look on her face, one of them goes, like, just like the most surprised, shocked, how dare you look I've ever seen. And the other lady that was with her was like, oh no, that's not going to happen. Like, she got pissed. And Weston and I made it a point then at that time that we weren't going to sit down at all the entire show. Because...
Wow. Between the shows we did.
Well, between, yeah. So anytime there was a band on the stage, we were going to stand up. And later on, there was also a guy that, this isn't the lady, obviously, but there was a guy that was also there, and Ledger was like, "So you guys having fun?" And this guy's like, "No, because I can't see." And she's like, "Oh, he's excited to see Skillet." He goes, "I'll see him once these two guys sit down." And I'm like, "You're at a freaking rock show, dude. Like, stand up and enjoy it." And that guy did stand up for Skillet, and the ladies just sat down the whole time, which I found hilarious. But one of the ladies actually went and reported Weston and I to the police, and wanted the police to come tell us to sit down during a rock show. And it was funny because Josh, the deputy that she went and reported it to, my dad went and talked to him, and he was like, "So do you have a lady come down and like complain about people standing up?" And he's like, "Yeah, that was one of my 5th grade teachers." And I'm like, that's a teacher at the school down in Spencer. Like, she teaches 5th grader. Like, I don't know if it wasn't Spencer, it was a different elementary school. Is there one that starts with a J?
Johnson.
Yeah, she's a teacher there.
Because Spencer has Johnson Elementary, Lincoln
There
Elementary,
you go.
Fairview Elementary, and then they also have Sacred Heart, which is the Catholic school.
Yeah, so she was a teacher at Johnson, the 5th grade teacher there. And she started yelling at us and actually reported us to the police. And it was one of the weirdest, like, Karen stories I've had. Because I was like, what are they going to do? Honestly, what would those cops have done? Be like, "Hey, guys, you need to sit down at a rock show and not enjoy your time here?" We're like, no. Like, there's no way. So, have you guys ever had a Karen experience like that? At all? Where, like, because I've had them at work, but this was the first one where I've really...
Nope.
Like, I've had Karens come to me while I've been working about stupid things, but I've never actually had one report on me while I'm not working. I thought this was the funniest thing. Because Weston and I, for the first time, I'm assuming, Weston's ever had the police called on him or, like, someone reported
Oh,
him
you
to
don't
the
know
police.
Weston.
I can't imagine that Weston would be reported to the police very often.
Oh, he's been reported, just never caught.
Ooh, that's a fair point.
I mean,
There's John Doe, that's Weston.
the bat signal still flies at night, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, and it was one of the it was such a fun concert, such a good time, but are you okay?
I'm good, fine. I'm not going to freak out like you do when it happens to you.
That's because it freaks me out. All of a sudden, my leg's frozen. I got pants on, sir.
Yeah, Jordan's actually wearing
What
pants
shot
today.
me?
The Strago?
It's over my Logan.
I hit my foot. I was like, what the heck?
It's in his foot.
It's like I thought that was like a mist. I didn't think it was like
mist.
a projectile.
Yeah, so I was talking about it last night though too, because I was working, at the fairgrounds doing security stuff or whatever, and I was talking to my boss. I was like, yeah, so I actually had the police reported on me last night. I wasn't sure if I was gonna be able to work tonight. Just kind of joking around. He's like, wait, what? And I told him the story. He's like, you've got to be freaking kidding me. He's like, it's a rock concert. What does she want you to do? I'm like, exactly. But I didn't think we did anything wrong, obviously.
Well,
Like,
the reason the police didn't do anything with you is because they saw Weston. They're like, nope, we remember him. We're not messing with him.
They're like, we know the.
Oh yeah.
We know what he's capable of.
If it was just you've been out of there. Kicked
Well,
out.
see, it's funny because my dad was with us too, and I was just sitting there laughing. Weston was laughing. My sister was laughing, and my dad is sitting there laughing. My mom was the only one that I think was kind of like, oh no, like please don't get in a fight, because I think she knows me well enough. I would not listen to these old ladies, and I would get them even more mad if they tried to say anything else.
And maybe I'm in the minority of this. Like, were you guys front row or second row? I couldn't tell.
We were
from where
second
you're
row.
sitting. Okay, were the people in front of you standing?
Yes.
Okay.
Some of them were, yes.
Then I probably would have stayed standing. But if I was front row and someone told me to sit down, I might sit down just for them, because why not? And standing room was fun. I would totally do standing room again. But Logan, Trevor, and I were struggling when we got back to Logan's car.
There's a reason it took me an hour to get out of bed Sunday, and I was late for church.
Actually, at a rock concert, it's an insult to the band to not stand.
Well, I mean, the Skillet told you to
Now
stand
you know
up.
why
Ledger
I don't.
didn't. I know
Actually,
it's-
no, Ledger
did.
Oh, did they?
It
Okay.
She said on your
I
feet,
had to.
Iowa.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now you know why I
You
don't,
say
because
sit
I've
on
been
your-
doing
They
enough
did. They
laser
said
fest
on your
for
feet.
12
Oh,
plus
gotcha.
hours standing.
Yeah, Ledger at the
Kills
beginning of the
me.
show, like it was her first
I
time
wore
she came out. She
Vans,
goes,
too.
Iowa, let's get on
That's
your
not
feet
good.
or something like that.
Yeah.
And
Just
so
flat, nothing there.
everyone was standing up at the beginning, and then like people slowly started to sit down. But honestly, after that lady said that, it was a point I'm not doing it no matter what. No matter how tired my legs got and how sore my feet were to become if I were to get tired. Like there's no way.
Of course you would.
My sister was the same way. After when Skillet came out, she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm not gonna sit down at all now." Like we were just out of spite.
Well, mine was out of spite. Mine was out of respect for the bands.
Yeah.
Mine was out of spite. but
Weston's
also
doing
I
it for
was-
good reasons.
Yeah.
Well, to be
Well.
we both agreed we weren't gonna sit down.
Well,
at all.
I wasn't going to sit down anyway
Yeah.
because of that. There was one point where I was going to sit down for a couple minutes just during the drum solo and like recenter myself, but I was going to get
Well,
back up anyway.
That's when the band gets their water break. So
Exactly.
Yeah. And I told Weston, he's like, I'm gonna sit down while they're doing the drums. I'm like, no, you are gonna stand. I go, well, let's just make this lady even more mad.
So
It was fun though.
I
It was
enjoyed the
It was
concert.
a great concert. It was super fun. But yeah, I do like I do things to
Yes,
piss
we
people
know.
off quite a bit.
It's something you enjoy.
It is. It's a hobby of mine.
that's
It's
why
not a
we.
good hobby. It's
That's
not
why
a
we
good hobby
pile
at
it
all.
onto Jordan, because he deserves it back tenfold.
Only
This
10?
is kind of true.
It happens
Yeah.
sometimes.
I'll just I'll poke the bear with a stick, just to see.
And that's what, hey, you can't complain when it mauls you then.
Exactly. That's very
I'd
true.
like to see that old lady try to maul me then.
Well, I
The
think
metaphoric bear.
that was maul. Like that's what mauling. Because the reason why I don't have a Karen story is because if I do experience a Karen, I'm just like try to be polite to her and just
Yeah.
like, sorry, ma'am. Like sorry you feel this way, but
ignore.
yeah.
Like,
Oh, I turned around. I straight up told her, I go, you can stand up. But then even when John Cooper was like, I want to see you guys jump, I was like, yeah, Karen. Just over
Yep,
my
that's
shoulder.
that's the
That's
spite
just
part.
that's yeah. That's just uncalled for.
it's just unneeded.
Yeah.
Hey, Uncalled For. That's the name of the show.
Well done.
Just yell over my shoulder. I was like, yeah, Karen. And my sister was laughing too. I'm like, I think we definitely get that from my dad. He's kind of that way too. And I think it has a lot to do with my job as well when I'm working at bars. Like I'm definitely sometimes more of an instigator to give me something to do on a slow night.
I'm the
That's-
opposite.
That makes you a
I'm
terrible-
Not
mediator.
professional at all.
That
I'm
makes
a
you a
mediator
terrible
who stops
That is
crap from
so
happening.
bad.
That's
So-
not good.
Like when
dude.
people come up and complain, I'm just like, yeah, so what are you gonna do about it? It's like there's nothing like. It just makes me laugh sometimes because I'm just like, okay, like I'm bored, I feel ornery, like just let me
Bored,
at 'em
you're there to
almost.
do a job. Do your job.
Mm-hmm.
Don't cause issues, so your job is more exciting.
I mean,
for
technically, they're the ones causing the issues. I'm just not diffusing
you're instigating. Don't instigate.
it. I'm not putting the flame out. Is what I'm.
You're adding gas.
Yeah,
But isn't
you're
it your
adding-
job
Yes.
to put out the flame?
It's like Greek fire, and you throw water on it.
Yeah,
After something happens.
Grease fire.
Aren't you supposed to prevent
Greek
things
fire.
from actually happening?
Greek fire too.
That's what it was.
Oh, I never
It's
heard
called
Greek fire.
Yeah, they
Huh.
used it
Yeah.
way back when.
Gotcha.
They called it Greek fire.
I thought you just misspoke. My bad.
So they use it in naval battles, and when they threw water on it, it would just spread it.
Yep.
So they're screwed.
Yeah.
You know, throwing
Hopefully they
water.
can hear you. You turned away from your mic, and I'm like, where'd he go? Oh, he's not facing his mic.
You're good. Sorry.
Yeah, I do that
History
a
lesson
lot.
over.
You turn away from your mic a ton.
Well, that's because I have him over here, and then I have these guys over here, and I got.
And then you start playing with your cord.
I did not know that made a sound. I am so sorry.
It sounded like someone was knocking.
I am so. I didn't realize that made a sound. I was just messing with the cord because it was in front of me. It's almost like a fidget spinner at that point. But yeah, so
Did anyone else give a Karen story?
no, I don't think anyone else had
I don't
one.
have
I'm a
one.
mediator. I don't have Karen stories.
We,
Yeah.
we
Agreed.
deal with things better.
Yeah, very true.
I deal with things in the way that's going to make it more fun for me at the end.
Moving on.
I choose peace.
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
I choose the
Yeah,
one
but
that
you're not
gets
the
me out of the
Joker.
situation sooner and home.
I feel like that is not a good thing to compare yourself to and be
the
happy with.
Joker.
The mass homicidal maniac who cares nothing about human life. I don't think you should quote him at that time. Just saying.
You also know Bruce Wayne, who is Batman, so
Maybe that's why they argue
maybe
so
that's
much.
why they argue a lot.
But we're good friends.
And why
Sure.
Weston
Well,
owns Jordan.
Joker would
whenever it
probably
comes
say
to
the same
conversation.
thing.
Exactly. He can,
Wait, Weston, do you consider us to be friends?
Hey, just don't pay too much attention and keep taking your morning breakfast, okay? Those pills are very important, okay?
I'm not awake in the morning.
Your
That's
morning.
because you take those pills.
They're night pills.
Night pills. Ooh. The dark night pills?
No.
Oh.
No.
They
Oh.
make your night dark.
So no one else has a Karen story, huh?
nope.
Can't say you do.
Wow.
I mean, I've shared the one with Walmart, but Liz and I kind of looked at each other like, okay,
Oh, when the lady was pissed that you were
in the smoking
in the
line.
smoking line without.
But I've
getting-
already shared that story, so.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, Liz and I just kind of went, okay.
That's all you gotta do.
See, in that situation, I'd be like, "Oh, hold on, I want to get a candy bar," and I would have like taken my sweet time picking out candy there, just to make it an even longer wait.
That sounds like you.
It does. It does sound like you.
It's exactly what I would have done, and I know for a fact, even if I didn't want the candy bar, I'd be like, you know what? Hold on, I'm gonna pick something. What do you mean bad topic? It's funny.
That's funny.
Just because you guys can't appreciate good stories.
All I know what good stories is. We talk about in video games all the time. This, not so much.
Oh, and anime? Great
Ooh, yeah.
stories there.
Oh yeah.
There you
Let's
go.
not forget about that.
There you go.
Last week was so much
He
fun.
loves it so
It was.
much.
Yeah, last week
I
was
had
a
a
blast.
It was a
ball.
I
great
did too.
conversation.
It was
Love the
great.
topic.
I felt like Tim
Even-
this week.
Even fun, like, fail stories, like your football one. That's a good story.
That was a good
You
story.
didn't tell your fail one. I was hoping we were talking about football the other week, and I
thought
was
I
hoping
did.
I was hoping you bring up your ripstick story.
Oh my gosh! I actually forgot about this. How did I tell you this?
Yes, and it laughed so hard because you were talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Was Tommy Elliott the coach at the
Yeah.
time?
So I'll tell it quick. It's not has nothing to do with this, but
It's story time. We're fine.
It's
Yeah.
story time. We're telling stories.
That's his topic.
So yeah, what happened is let me back it up. I spent the entire summer, or not the entire summer. I'd say like a month or two out of the summer, trying to figure out how to ride a ripstick, because I wanted to. And it was like, I think this was it would have been my sophomore year, because it was my coach's last year, there. But anyway, so I tried a few times, but then we went to my grandparents' campground for a week. I was like, this would be the perfect time. They have, a nice little trail around there, a nice little paved trail around their camper. I'm gonna learn how to do it. And sure enough, I did. I learned how to do it. I was pretty good at it. Well then, so I'm like, okay, we're starting football camp up. I'm gonna ride my ripstick to football camp, just because I know how to ride it now. It's fun. So, I get down to the field, and I'm going down. It's a very slight slope, but it's enough to make me go a bit faster. and I hadn't quite mastered going super fast on a ripstick yet. And so I was gaining speed. I was like, all right, I'm just going to jump off of it. And then so I jumped off it, and the thing took my feet out from underneath me when I did. Like, it just kind of, I jumped off it, fine, and I landed, but then it swept my feet from underneath me, and I fell. It wasn't bad. Like, I didn't hurt myself at all, but it just looked stupid. So the whole time, my coach and a few of the other teammates were just looking at me. I walk up to him, I was like, what's up, coach? How's it going? And he's like, I was like, this is my coach. He's like, I was like, dang, we're about to have some impressive kid. Like, those things are hard to ride. Like, I'm like, who is this kid? I'm ready to start him. And then he fell. I was like, oh, it's just Nickerson.
Sounds like you.
So,
It's just Logan.
no, I wasn't
Poor
face
kid.
plant. Like, literally, like,
Okay.
I don't think I had any marks from it. Like, I just fell. So, but yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Anyone else have any other stories they want to talk?
Nope.
All right. Well,
I almost ran over a cow today.
You should have just told it to move.
Yeah.
Yes.